So tell everybody, audit we're starting in a minute. Audit we're starting in a minute. Okay. Tell everybody that we are live and we start. Okay. Chalo. Let me know whether I am perfectly audible to all of you, and then I'll start with today's session. We'll take a quick recap also of yesterday's, and then I'll take it ahead. Okay. The results have declared for CA Foundation Intermediate. Students are calling. Can check it afterwards. Okay, chalo. A very good morning to everybody. This is day two. Okay, first of all, tell me whether I am audible or what. Okay, because I've kept the mic of day down. So let me know whether I am perfectly audible, and I'll go ahead immediately. Okay, just give me a thumbs up, yes or no, and then I'll take it ahead. Okay, we'll try to wrap up these two chapters which are there in your curriculum. Yesterday we completed the most biggest one, that is company audit. So if you guys have just come in now, or if this has somebody has sent you this link, make sure you watch the previous lecture also of company audit. We have taken it very aram in that. Okay, we've taken from the starting. We've also taken the question also in that. Okay, so before I go ahead, let me know whether I'm audible or not, please, so that I can go ahead immediately. So that I can go ahead immediately. Okay. Today is day two. Today we're going to pick up the rest two chapter. The first one is very important actually. Okay. Chalo. Can we start, everybody, without wasting any time? So in audit up till now, so breakup was 10, 30, and 10. Very simple. Okay. The first chapter was this, which we are going to take today, basic concepts of auditing. It's not basic because a lot of things are there in that. Okay. मतलब जितने भी पूरे essays है, or a lot of essays are there in your first chapter itself. Okay. The weightage is a bit less. It's 10 marks, but make sure that there will be a question on that. Okay. Also in today's PDF, I've combined every question which is there in these two chapters. Okay. So if you just take out a printout, अगर आपसे printout निकालेंगे इसका and just keep it on a table before going to examinations, just take a look at this, okay? Because I am pretty sure कि वो इसमें से एक question तो डालेंगे, ठीक है? I hope अभी तक, like till now, financial management is done, audit is done. Make sure you take the print out of that PDFs which I am giving it to you, okay? It's basically a compilation of all the past examination questions, but it's with answers, okay? Sure. Now, today, sir, what exactly are we supposed to do? Now, as usual, we go through the sheet first, because see, the moment we go through the sheet, we get an understanding where on all we have to focus. But in today's session, we are going to cover the first chapter entirely. When I say entirely, completely from the module, okay? So that we don't miss out anything. And there's one more chapter, which is the third one, and that is auditing of different types of undertakings. This we cannot do, it's a very big chapter. But what we have done is, if you see the past examination questions or the model question paper for that matter, you get an idea of where all these people are targeting. Okay, I'll tell you also. Give me a few minutes. Let me just go through the entire PDF first, which I have prepared, and then we will go on to the first chapter. I want everybody to pay attention because the first chapter consists of a lot of essays. It might be audit engagement, audit evidence, sampling, audit risk, everything is there in that. Okay, so it will be a quick revision. Your audit will be finishing today itself. Okay, I kept 3 days for audit, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I'll try to finish it off today only. Okay, so I want your complete attention, and from tomorrow you can enjoy your Diwali. As simple as that. Okay, chalo. Now, just we'll go through the entire stuff. First question, December 24. Difference between audit and investigation. The first thing which will come in your mind is audit is not investigation and audit is not accounting also. Okay, audit is completely different. So when we are trying to do the first chapter, we'll focus this a bit more. Second, discuss the audit procedure for receipts of healthcare organization. Now please pay attention. Secondly, please laksha there. I'm telling you, do smart study for the third chapter. Okay, don't do everything else. सब कुछ मत करो उसमें. These people are targeting 2-3 organizations. The third chapter is the audit of different types of undertakings. In that, you basically need to go and check the receipts, payments, and the policy and procedure of their internal stuff. सबसे पहले आपके स्क्रीन के सामने आता है हेल्थ केयर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ओके, नेक्स्ट, discuss the contents of audit working paper. This is essay 230. What is audit working papers? It's documentation. So where I'll pick up the first chapter, we'll do it very easily. एकदम आराम से करेंगे. Okay, I'm just trying to tell you कि where these people are targeting. December 24 model question paper, June 24 is in front of you. Discuss the steps to be taken of auditor of a cooperative society. So the first question they asked from third chapter was healthcare organization. Second, cooperative society. This question has been asked multiple times. This question have been asked multiple times in multiple examinations also. Okay, this is very important. Next, distinguish between internal control, internal check and internal audit. Very important. First chapter का जो end होता है ना, वो इससे end होता है. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे अपन focus ज़्यादा करेंगे when we start doing the first chapter. Okay, you have to make sure कि these three things are different. Don't write something in the examination come out. Okay, नहीं, internal audit, internal control, internal check are same only. It's a very big distinguish between. We'll do it. Okay, चलो next. Define auditing and what are the basic principles. The most basic question essay 200. जब अपन शुरू करेंगे अभी इन अ मिनट, द फर्स्ट लाइन में ही आपको ये मिल जाएगा इसका आंसर. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट. Demonstrate the audit procedure to be followed by auditor while conducting audit of a educational institution. I hope you are writing this down. This is the third one. First was healthcare education, cooperative society, and this is the third, educational institution. So if you are wondering your third chapter में क्या करना है, इतना लंबा third chapter है, so I'm giving you a hint. These are the targets where institute is targeting. Okay, healthcare, cooperative society, and educational. This does not mean you have to leave everything, but here you have to focus a lot on these entities. Okay, next. Now this is an examination question. Okay, I've just taken it as it is. June 24 examination question. Now Mr. B has been appointed as the auditor of Deluxe Hotels for the financial year. So they are asking how will you audit the hotels? Okay, of hotels. So चार हो गया. मैं तो ये कर रहा हूँ मैं. Write it down in your stick note. Healthcare, cooperative society, education, and this is what? Hotels. This is hotels. Next, what is the meaning of audit trail? Very important. I've covered all the variety of questions. So even if you are revising for your audit a day before the examination, I think this is more than enough. Okay, इसमें सब variety cover किया है. ठीक है? Audit trail first chapter का question नहीं है. ठीक है? Next, what are the analytical procedures? Ladies and gentlemen, can you please tell me what is the essay of this? Sir, essay 520. Essay 520. We'll do it in the first chapter. Okay. Now, pay attention. Analytical procedures. Many people get very, what do you say that? They come in a panic situation when these guys have questions come. Because अगर आपने पढ़ाई नहीं किया है, आप शायद से कुछ लिख नहीं पाओगे वहां पे. What is the meaning of analytical procedures? It's very simple. Listen, you are very properly. Analytical comes from the word analysis. Okay. Analytical procedures is ऑडिटर ये तभी करता है जब उसको आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स करना होता है. ओके, नॉट द रूटीन प्रोसीजर. सो फॉर एग्जांपल यू विल सी द ट्रेंड एनालिसिस, वो ग्राफ चेक करेगा. ओके, यू विल सी व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन द एरिया इंडस्ट्री. सो ही विल डू समथिंग आउटसाइड द बॉक्स. He will perform analysis. That is where analytical procedures comes into picture. So what is the question? Discuss the tools and techniques of analytical procedures. जब करेंगे फर्स्ट चैप्टर ये अपन आराम से कर लेंगे. ठीक है, 520. Pay attention everybody. तुमको आज खत्म करना है भाई साहब. Audit should be done and dusted today only itself. Okay, that was our target. Okay, next, Identify the risk associated with the audit of inventory. Okay, we'll do this also. Discuss the duties of an auditor in relation to audit of debentures. Now see, I've taken questions from your new syllabus sub year with Roger, right? I've also taken 2016 syllabus questions also. You know why? Because these guys had a variety of questions over there. What I saw was in 2022 syllabus, few questions were being repeated. वही questions वापस वापस आ रहे. But 2016 में ऐसा नहीं था. The syllabus was same only, but the questions variety बहुत अलग थे. तो ये उसमें से है. How as an auditor आप check कैसे करेंगे audit of debentures? We'll do it, okay? I'm just going through the entire PDF. Discuss the advantage of a well-organized audit program. By some ladies and gentlemen, this comes under SA 300. We will do it. That is what audit planning. When you start audit planning, the first thing is what? Sir, I have to write down audit program. How I have to proceed ahead? Scope क्या रहने वाला? ये सब मेरा audit program में रहने वाला. ठीक है? तो ये भी कर लेंगे. चलो, next. Discuss the various techniques for evaluating the internal control system. So see, internal control, internal check, audit trail. These are last parts of your first chapter. If you recollect, सब करेंगे अपन आज. तो यहाँ पे आपको focus ज्यादा करना है, ठीक है? चलो, next. They state the contents of audit engagement letter. What is the essay? I told you yesterday, the audit engagement letter, essay 210. Essay 210. Very, very simple bonus question is this, okay? शायद से मैंने कल भी डिस्कस किया था कल के लेक्चर में. Discuss the auditor's duty in relation to internal check system. See, one more banger. I'm telling you, internal check, internal control. Institute is asking this. Next, explain briefly the need for audit evidence. What is audit evidence? Essay 500. Essay 500 करेंगे अपन जब अपन फर्स्ट चैप्टर उठाएंगे, ठीक है? The existence of a good internal check system reduces to a great extent the work of the auditor, but does not reduce its liability. Obviously, remember one thing, pay attention. As an auditor, if you go there, if you check the internal system, internal control, and you completely rely on that, नहीं यार क्या भारी है उसका internal control, कुछ भी deviation नहीं, there is no deviation only. Then you sat in your chair, you said, no problem, I will not do audit only. Let them only do. I have complete faith and reliance where on the internal control. This is not going to work. if internal control is good, it's a supporting thing for you. हाँ, तो आपको ऑडिट तो करना पड़ेगा ना, आपको सैम्पलिंग करना पड़ेगा. हाँ, सैंपल साइज आप थोड़ा बहुत कर सकते हैं. आउट ऑफ 10 vouchers you can check 3-4 vouchers, but that does not mean your liability is over. Are you understanding? A good internal control system is not a substitute for not doing work of your audit. Remember that, okay? तो ये आपको उनको लिखना पड़ेगा, कुछ पंक्ति है, वो पंक्तियां बाद में पढ़ेंगे अपन, ठीक है? चलो, this is my PDF, and ladies and gentlemen, now we will go on to the main thing, okay? Basic concept of auditing. I want everyone to pay attention, keep your model ready, and we will do it in a very quick manner. Every essay I'm going to cover, okay? If you are paying attention, इससे मजा आएगा. अगर आपका ध्यान है, you will feel confidence at the end of today's lecture. I want everybody to stay active, okay? And just keep up your model, red pen, stick notes, keep it all set, okay? Now, first things first, okay? Year. We start from year, okay? Now, I'm not going to very basics, okay? What from audit work कहाँ से आया है, to listen and all that, okay? We'll go straight to the points. Accounting and auditing. So, if this question comes, they're asking you auditing and investigation. ना? अभी तक ये पूछा नहीं है, but this people can ask this also. Accounting and auditing. So, is it same? Absolutely not, okay? Accounting is a collection, classification, summarization of data for preparation of books of account. अरे भाई साहब, जहां पे आपका accounting खत्म होता है, वहां से auditing शुरू होता है. Where the reporting date is there, so management is the responsible person for giving you books of account. Management is responsible to give you financial statement, and then your audit is going to start. Okay, so it is a collection of data for preparing books of account. Auditing is an analytical and critical examination of books of account. Obviously, after होने के बाद, then you critically analyze what is that. Next, it is a recording of transaction at the time of occurrence. So whenever a purchase, sale happens, or expense happens, or income happens, that time you record. Okay, that's accounting. Auditing is basically a post-mortem examination. ये होने के बाद then you assess what exactly it is. That is why auditing is also called as post-mortem examination of what? The recording transactions. It measures the business events in monetary terms, records them, and communicates the financial results through what? Financial statements. So all the business events in monetary terms, and remember one thing, this is communicated through what? Your financial statements. Auditing reviews financial records to form an opinion on the authenticity of assets. ऑडिटिंग आपका जो मेन मकसद है वो एक ही है, एंड द मेन मकसद आपका ये है कि आपको ओपिनियन देना, यू नीड टू गिव ओपिनियंस, राइट, rather than doing anything. Your opinion is the most important key factor in audit. Its primary responsibility is of the management towards the shareholder. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The main responsibility is not the auditors to prepare accounts. Obviously not. It's the management. Management आपको तैयार करके देंगे, and then your audit is going to start. Auditor is an independent person appointed by the business entity to review the FS. Yesterday only we did this. The disqualifications of the auditor. You need to be independent, right? Next. An accountant is not expected to review or report on the FS, but to report the compilation of records to the management. And accountant is not going to go into deep. ये review थोड़ी करने वाला है. And you tell me one thing, will the accountant, the one who's doing entry, will he give opinion? No, sir. And why will he give opinion? Opinion the auditor is going to give. So, an accountant is not expected to review or report. On the other hand, an auditor is required to submit a report which is dash opinion. Yesterday I told you. In my opinion, the financial statements shows true and fair view. This is what you write in the audit report. Simple. Accountant works for the management. Auditor is an independent person accountable to the owners or shareholders. He's full time over there. Yeah, the accountant. And you will go there. You will be handling a lot of clients in that one point of time. No liabilities then accounting in certain circumstances. Auditor could be held liable to third parties also. Tell me when will the auditor will be liable to third parties? And it's certain negligence. When he will show negligence, when he has not followed standards of auditing, then the shareholders will catch him. Are yaar, you did not follow SA. You acted very negligently. That time auditor will be held liable. But there is no liability as such over here. See, these guys, they don't have any SS and all that accounting. Okay, they will only have to pass a normal accounting entry. That's it. Okay. Chalo, pay attention, everybody. Next. Maintenance of accounts may not be mandatory for externals, obviously, if it is not compulsory. Audit could be exempt for various individuals or small partnerships. Accounting is done as a principle set by Indian accounting standards. Auditing is done as principles of SA. ये ऐसे से होता है, ये इन डेज से होता है, भाई साहब. I hope I've told you इन डेज का मतलब क्या है. पहले ही मैंने आपको बताया. अगर फिर भी आपको पता नहीं तो 2 मिनट आप देख लेंगे. Many people get confused over here. I've already told you in my lecture. First, accounting standards was there. यहाँ पे आपके IFRS है, that is International Financial Reporting Standards. Understand the meaning of Indies. तो बहुत जन सिर्फ रट्टा मारते हैं. IFRS है, accounting standards बहुत old है. Lot from many years accounting standards have been which is implemented by ICA. Okay. Now, but globally accepted ये नहीं है. Globally, what is accepted? International Financial Reporting Standards. India needed something new. Indian accounting system needed something new. Okay. That's why these two came together, combination आ गया इन दोनों का, and then what Ind AS happened. Ind AS happened. Remember one thing. Ind AS, AS, IFRS तीनों भी different है. Ind AS is applicable for few entities, उसका applicability है. After that, Ind AS becomes applicable. Okay, that is why यहाँ पे ये लिखा है इन लोगों ने that accounting is as per Ind AS, but Ind AS applicable नहीं, normal accounting standard, but audit is to be done by one and only one thing, and that is SA. समझ में आया? चलो. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is done, this is most important. जिसका question भी अपन just पढ़ा भी. Everybody pay attention. I want everybody to pay attention. Audit and investigation. Audit investigation. So you tell me one thing. Pay attention, everyone. Is audit investigation? Yesterday we discussed this. So audit is not investigation, sir. We are going there to review something and to give our opinion. I cannot go there with a mindset of investigation. My audit, the whole nature will only become all bad. Everything will go for a toss. If I go with the intention of investigation, many students feel that audit investigation hai. The moment I go for articleship, the first thing what I do is I'll go and find something. No, Papa, it is not like that. You need to go and review what they have done and to place your opinion. So I had written one thing, if you remember. मैंने आपको बुक में लिखा था. क्या लिखा था मैंने? An auditor is a watchdog and not a bloodhound. This is what I think I have told you when we were doing. Okay, इसका मतलब क्या है भाई? आपको सिर्फ देखना है क्या चालू है कंपनी में, आपका ओपिनियन देना है. You are not something very dangerous. Don't act like a bloodhound. Okay. When circumstances are there, then you will act like a bloodhound, but not now. So general thing, very important. Pay attention to everybody. First thing, meaning audit is an independent, systematic examination of the evidence underlying the accounting or other data. with the generally accepted accounting principles. Sir, 8 minutes. Do we need to write all of this stuff? No, absolutely not. Okay. You have to only tell them what is the meaning of audit. You can just write that auditing is an independent, systematic or examination of the evidence. That's it. Okay. इतना ये पूरा मत लिखो पूरा, ठीक है? And investigation may be defined as an examination of accounts and records with a view to ascertain any facts, some special purpose. This is very important. So whenever investigation happens, it's for a special thing, right? A special purpose. For example, let us say cash and cash equivalent में कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया है. हाँ, आप investigation कर रहे हो. हाँ, then you need to be very specific. You are only focused on that part. Let us say central government has told you, hey, no, Baba, there's a fraud happening over there. You need to go there with the intention of investigation. Then your objective changes, boss. Okay. Next, scope. Audit has a wider scope. In stat audit, the scope is determined by the relevant law and in case of private audit by a client. Okay. So obviously, if a stat audit is there, compulsory audit is there, you have all cases, okay, which you need to follow. But scope of investigation on the other hand is very dash limited. It's not that wide. Okay. सब कुछ investigation नहीं करना है. जिसमें fraud हुआ है उसमें करना है investigation. Objective in audit, the accounts and records are verified to the truth and fairness. Very simple. Investigation is for what purpose? Special. If you understand one thing, there's one word which is being repeated. Limited, special purpose, scope is very limited. The audit is conducted in accordance with what? Generally accepted auditing principle, that is your essay. आप ऐसे लिख सकते हैं आप. Investigation involves extended auditing procedure. So investigation is something more than auditing, right? Auditing is a routine stuff. ये routine stuff है मेरा. But when I start investigation, it will be something more than what? Obviously auditing, okay? Because in auditing, I don't want to investigate, boss. In investigation, I do something more than auditing. Are you understanding this? An auditor will evaluate the accounting records predominantly based on persuasive evidence. An investigator can draw his conclusions only on the basis of substantial, a very good amount of evidence, okay? Because see, whenever you're putting an audit report over there, you need to have something very concrete to tell the shareholders, for the central government for that matter. Hey, boss, there is fraud over there. So persuasive से काम चलने वाला नहीं है. You will need substantial evidence. Auditor is skeptical and not suspicious. What is the meaning of skeptical mind? You should be very alert. देख सकते हैं आप यहाँ पे. You should be very alert minded, okay, and not suspicious, okay. But in investigation, it starts only with what तुमको भेजा ही उसी मकसद के लिए. आपको भेजा ही वहाँ पे इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने के लिए. आपके दिमाग का ऑब्जेक्टिव सस्पिशन है. आपको सब जगह डाउट दिख रहा है वहाँ पे. Because you are going there for what? Investigation. Understood? Routine exercise. It may spread over longer than 1 year depending on the circumstances. Simple. Everybody okay with this? Please pay attention. Next. Very important. Very important. This was a question. Now they've asked, okay, basic principles governing audit. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday also I discussed SS with you. Today also I will discuss SS with you. Will you please just write? The students who have already learned from me, they know अपन every class में वही करते थे, ऐसे ही करते थे, ठीक है? तो भाई साहब, essay 200, essay 200 is basically your overall objectives. अरे many students I've seen, many students or many teachers also for that matter, they don't tell the students to learn essay only. They'll do everything. But what I personally feel is when you're doing audit, essay should be at the top of the list. Because when you learn essays, you have an understanding of the entire subject. Okay. So overall objectives of independent auditor, very simple. We do it now. You have essay 210. That is your engagement letter. I won't write everything. It's already written over there. Okay. Engagement letter. Then essay 220 you have. What is this? Sir, this is quality control. You have essay 230, which is the most important. That is what? Audit documentation. I can go on and write the entire list of essays, okay? You have already written. Essay 240 is what? Sir, fraud. Essay 250 is what? Sir, compliance with laws. Okay? What is essay 260, ladies and gentlemen? So it is TCWG, communicating with those charged with the owner. Sir, what is essay 265? Are communicating internal deficiencies with TCWG? Internal deficiencies. With what? TCWG. Are you understanding this, boss? Essay 299. We'll do this also. Joint audit. Okay, then go on and on. The main point is what? essay 200. Okay, everybody pay attention over here. Everybody, okay? सगळ्यांना करायचं आहे. लक्ष द्या सगळ्यांनी. Everybody. Basic principles governing an audit. So, as it is answers and model question paper, the first one is integrity, objectivity, and independence. The audit should be straightforward, honest, sincere, and free from any influence. So whenever you are doing an audit, there should not be any influence upon you. There should not be any dominancy position in above you. So you should not be scared. If anything is there, you should speak your heart out over there. Okay. Confidentiality. You should not disclose your client's information here and there. तो रात को खाना खाने बैठे हो तो तुम्हारे फ्रेंड्स को बोलो अरे ये हुआ इससे ब्लैक मनी वहां पे छुपा है ये नहीं करने का ये कॉन्फिडेंशियल इन्फॉर्मेशन है पूरा ठीक है नेक्स्ट skills and competence. The audit should perform an audit report, be prepared, adequately trained, experienced and what? Competent process. And people have faith in you because you're competent enough to work for them. Okay. So whenever you're delegating some work, make sure they are competent enough to do the audit report. Work performed by others. What is work performed by others? Yesterday we did that thing. तीन ऐसे किए थे अपन याद है आपको 600, 610 and 620. Because remember one thing, whenever you are using these essays, what is 600? Using the work of another auditor, that is branch auditor. 610, using the work of internal auditor. 620, using the work of an expert. And in these three things, you are taking the help of other people. No, and you have to be very careful कि whether that person is competent or what. अरे आगे उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या है और तुम उसका मतलब ले रहे हो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. You should be very dash 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 careful. Documentation सबसे important है भाई 230. अरे documentation is so important that you have to prove whenever somebody is asking hey what work did you do क्या वाउचिंग किया तुमने अरे तुमको दिखाना चाहिए ना कि भाई ये किया है सब मैंने documentation because documentation acts as the evidence that the auditor has performed the entire audit through your essay. Are you understanding this? Also called as working papers. Planning very important. We'll do that now. Essay 300 in planning audit program comes. Okay. Audit evidence essay 500. This is 300. This is 230. This is what is this? This is 500. So and auditor should obtain dash dash dash. I've already told you. Pay attention. SAAE full form. Full form. Sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Sufficient appropriate audit evidence. What is sufficient? Sir, quantity. What is appropriate? Sir, quality. Are Baba, the point is, if you have so much of audit evidence, so there is no quality, it's of no use was. I have sufficient audit evidence. But that sufficient should be quality also now. On the other hand, I have quality. I have only one or two. It has to be sufficient also. That's why in audit evidence, we always say what? An auditor should obtain SAAE to performing the procedure. Very simple. An understanding of the accounting system is also important at the moment you step. Because remember one thing, at one point of time, you will not be auditing one client. You will be auditing a lot of clients, boss. So while auditing, you should be very careful of what? To understand the system. And तुमको उनका accounting system ही पता नहीं है, and you are doing audit. So the first few days, you will try to understand what is the internal accounting system, how is the internal check. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? This is very important. Understanding the accounting system. If you listen, there was one essay associated with this. You know what was that? Essay 315. What is essay 315? Everybody? Anyone? Essay 315. Essay 315. Understanding the internal control environment. I hope you know that. It was a very big essay. Audit conclusions and reporting. Last one, what do you do? Evidence gather करेंगे and then you will pick a audit report. Okay, sir. There are 9 points and they have asked you this. A basic principles governing an audit. I think it's very simple. It's a very bonus question if they ask you. Okay. Chalo. Next. Objective of auditing might ask you primary objective. Secondly, what's your primary objective was? The main objective of an audit is to determine whether FS presents true and fair view. So the first thing, the moment you step in, the first objective of an auditor is to tell whether financial statement shows a true and fair view. Secondly, the auditor is also responsible for detecting frauds and errors in the books of account. So detection of frauds and errors is called secondary objective because remember one thing, my primary objective is not to detect frauds and errors. Are you understanding this? My primary objective is just to review and give an opinion. That's my primary objective. In my secondary objective, if I have reasons to believe, understand my sentence. If I have reasons to believe a fraud exists, then I will switch over to my secondary objective and I will detect frauds and errors. Are you understanding this? Chalo. Next. Okay. Now this is a very big thing. We just go through this. Okay. So they are just telling you what is significance of auditing from whose point of view. From legal point of view. Okay, so if you're doing auditing, it also helps you to file income tax return, borrow money from external sources. If you go to a bank, the first thing the bank is going to ask you is for audited financial statements. Okay, For insurance also, audited FS is there. Sales tax payment and action against bankruptcy. In all these things, you will need to have audited FS. Okay, very simple. Okay, sure. From internal control point of view, why is audit necessary? Everyone pay attention. The first one is what? Quick discovery of errors and fraud. So if you're auditing, and there is a modern pressure on the employees. अगर ऑडिटर ही नहीं है, if I am the accountant, I'll be very relaxed यार. अरे nobody is there to check me. मैं खुद में एंट्री मारेगा यहाँ पे नहीं. So if auditor is there, there is what? So quick discovery of errors and flaws, moral check on the employees, advice to the management. So somewhere what happens if there's an auditor, it may happen that management may consult the auditor and seek advice on certain technical points. There are two types of auditors: external auditor and internal auditor. So the internal auditor is there. The management will ask, where at all we are going wrong. Please tell us the deficiency and uniformity in accounts if there's an audit happening in the place. Okay. External affairs point of view, settlement of accounts. So this also happens in partnership. If you know in partnership, if a partner dies, तो भाई साहब उसका settlement करना पड़ेगा ना, उसके लिए audited FS चाहिए, audited FS. Okay. Valuation के लिए and future trend of business for computing goodwill. Very simple. Okay. What are the advantages of audit? It's a very general answer. Just go through this. It's a tool which different stakeholders can use to protect their interest in the enterprise. Because see, shareholders are not relying on the directors. Shareholders are not relying on the directors. They're relying upon you because they have appointed you to have a cross check, to have a review on what these people are doing. Audit is not only a corrective measure but a deterrent effect. It serves as a moral check on the employees. There's a dominancy, right? There's somebody is there who's checking us. Employees of the organization remain alert and vigilant because they know now whenever they are doing some entry. For example, when 31st March comes, they do a lot of entries, yeah. But they know, yeah, auditor is sitting there only. So ऐसा हो सकता है कि वो पकड़ लेगा. That is why they are very vigilant and not doing any wrong stuff. Accounts are more reliable for government also. Even a government, any banks, any authorities, they only consider audited financial statements. Pay attention, please. Okay, everybody. Next. Acha, tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. This. Acha, I want to tell you something. Then we go it. Okay. Acha. Now, there's one concept. Pay attention. I think I've told you already. Audit happens 31st of March. After this, your audit starts. After this, your audit starts. Okay, your stat audit. But there's something called as limited review. There's something called as limited review. What is limited review? Also called as LR. And what does LR means? I've told you in my lecture also. Limited review stands for unaudited financial statements. Very, very, very important. Okay. So if you've seen a latest financial results of Bajaj, Kirloskar, Tata's, for example, what they do is, see, they will not do audit at one point of time. पूरा नहीं करेंगे. Shareholders are telling, अरे यार तू साल भर में एक ही में audit कर रहा है. We want you to have a check on the entire year what's happening here and to report us quarterly. Pay attention. To report us quarterly. So what is the auditor telling? The auditor is telling, yaar, boss, shareholders, I cannot do audit for the entire year, yaar. I have a lot of other stuff to do. Every quarterly you are telling, expecting me to go and review and check. No, Baba. So, but I will do one thing, just for your satisfaction. Just for your satisfaction, I will only review, but limited. मैं ऐसे ऊपर check करेगा. मैं opinion नहीं दूंगा. I will not give my opinion. And that is why limited review is also called as unaudited financial statements. Okay. If you have a chance, please go and visit Bajaj financial statement. You will find a lot of unaudited financial statements. In unaudited financial statement, the auditor does not give opinion. Very, very important. Lakshya again. In normal audit, opinion is there. But in limited review, also called as unaudited financial statements. See, remember one thing. Whenever limited review comes out, no, the results, टॉप में लिखा रहता है बड़े अक्षर में unaudited financial statement so that the stakeholders, mainly the shareholders, they will understand, अरे हाँ ये normal audit report नहीं है, इसमें clear cut mention किया इन लोगों ने unaudited. This means the auditor is trying to tell you कि boss audit report आने वाला है पीछे से, ये सिर्फ आपके तसल्ली के लिए, आपके satisfaction के लिए ये. That is why it is called as limited review. And if you want to find out where on earth is this in your book, it's written over here, limited review. Okay, please do it. They're going to ask you this question. Chalo. Under most of circumstances, the auditor finds a little time to conduct through examination thorough. Moreover, it may also not be possible for client to balance books all the evidence all the time. And because if both was not possible, yeah. So see, if you want to do audit quarterly basis, अरे उनको देना पड़ेगा ना आपको पूरा FS रेडी करके, उनको भी टाइम नहीं, आपको भी टाइम नहीं, बट ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि भाई आपने देखा नहीं. That is why just having a just checking. It's a normal check, okay? चलो, I hope you understood that. Next. Pay attention. Huh? ये आप पढ़ लेना. It's very general. Just have a look. Just read that. Okay. I'm not going to do that. वो उसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन पूछा नहीं होंगे. ये भी आपने स्किप किया तो भी चलेगा because we have already done it. This is basically your auditing standards. This is basically auditing standards. You have done this. Okay. हाँ. From here your actual chapter starts. अभी सब basic किया अपन ने. ये सबसे important है. Okay. Start from here. Everyone pay attention. I want everybody to pay attention. Everybody. Okay. Those who are watching, complete focus होना चाहिए आपका. सबसे पहले we'll do one by one essay. Everybody. Audit engagement, program, evidence and notebook. Can I have your complete attention? Can anybody before even I start with the chapter, can you please tell me the essays involved in the heading? Essay कौन से involved है? See, आपको पता है अपन ऐसे के बिना तो कुछ बोलने वाले नहीं. Essay should be at the top, content बाद में आने वाला है सब कुछ. Sir, audit engagement, anyone? Sir, essay 210, simple. Sir, program का बात चलो यहाँ पे, मतलब they are talking about audit program. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, audit program comes under what? Audit planning. And what is audit planning? Essay 300, एक number. Next, sir, documentation. Can you please tell me what is documentation? SA 230. अरे understand the crux of the chapter यार, पहले वो समझो. दिया है इसलिए पढ़ो मत पूरा. Understand it very sensibly what you are doing. You need to have essays in your mind. Okay, learn बोल रहा हूँ मैं. The moment you write an answer, it just start with what? According to essay. मैंने ये कल भी बोला है उस lecture में. Evidence, essay 500. In fact, I have told you audit evidence. We have two essays. One is normal audit evidence जो आपके सामने, and one is yesterday वो 501 वाला ILS वाला. ठीक है, वो भी है. ये समझ में आ रहा है कितना अपने को करना है. ठीक है, everybody, चलो pay attention please. Audit engagement. Now, tell me one thing. Audit engagement. Can I say it's the first step of your audit? Yesterday, when I started with the lecture, I gave you a detailed process of how audit starts and how it ends with the audit report. The first step in audit is what? The first step is what? SA 210. That is engagement. That is engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, there is this one question which the institute will hammer you with this question, and that is what? And that is what? This. Contents of engagement letter. Contents of engagement letter. Very, very, very important. पूछा भी है मॉडल क्वेश्चन पेपर में, तो एक बार ध्यान देंगे प्लीज. First, agreeing the terms of engagement, every engagement letter as per should contain the following. मतलब भाई साहब जब आप when you and the management sits across for discussion of engagement, what all is there in that? What all is there in that? Engagement letter. Can I say one thing, everybody? Engagement letter is a contract between the auditor and the management. Yes or no? Absolutely yes. Okay. So what all contents are there? Very simple. The first one, objective and scope of management. What all you can cover. Management responsibility. अरे very very important. अरे अगर तुमको थोड़ा सा भी ध्यान है ना, कल के लेक्चर में when audit report is there, audit report format, the first thing comes over there, independent auditors report. अरे what is the immediate next thing? अरे management is responsible for the preparation of financial statement. It is not the auditor. That is what is written over there. मतलब engagement letter के content में पहले ही आप डाल देंगे भाई फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट तेरा काम है, मेरा काम नहीं है. मेरा काम सिर्फ क्या है, रिव्यू देना इसके ऊपर. दिस इज देयर. Existence of inherent limitations. अरे रिमेंबर वन थिंग, यू आर द ऑडिटर. अब भगवान थोड़ी है यार, ऐसा होने ऑडिट होने के बाद थोड़ा सा तो होने वाला है. बट क्या होने वाला है सर? देयर माइट बी सम एरर्स व्हिच यू माइट नॉट नोटिस. अरे बट आई हैव चेक्ड विद ऑल द एसे, I have checked with complete focus, but still they were inherent. So you will try to tell the management in day by. There will be inherent risk. I am not guaranteeing this because an auditor always gives what? रीजनेबल अश्योरेंस. एन ऑडिटर, ये कल भी मैंने बताया था शायद आपको. एन ऑडिटर ऑलवेज गिव्स रीजनेबल अश्योरेंस एंड नॉट डैश एब्सोल्यूट अश्योरेंस. एन ऑडिटर विल नेवर टेल दिस इज 100% राइट व्हिच आई हैव ऑडिटेड. कभी ऐसा होगा नहीं, कोई देगा भी नहीं, ठीक है. इट विल ऑलवेज बी रीजनेबल अश्योरेंस. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट. नीड फॉर यूज ऑफ इंटरनल ऑडिटर व्हिच इज व्हाट 610. सो आप उसमें लिखेंगे भाई ऐसा हो सकता है कि इन सम सर्कमस्टेंसेस आई माइट नीड द हेल्प ऑफ दैट पर्सन ओवर देयर, एंड दैट इज इंटरनल ऑडिटर. ये क्या चालू है पता है ना, कंटेंट्स ऑफ एंगेजमेंट लेटर चालू है, सबका ध्यान चाहिए. मैनेजमेंट कंफर्मेशन लेटर, डू यू नो दिस essay, one essay associated with this, there is one essay associated with the e point, management confirmation letter. Anybody can tell me what is this? I don't write, forget. 580. अरे मैनेजमेंट कंफर्मेशन, अरे भाई उसने क्या बोला पता है क्या, अरे हर्ष आप कोई टेंशन मत लो, ये जो भी मैंने दिया है ना आपको ये सब बराबर है, आप टेंशन मत लो. तो मैंने तो क्या बोला पता है क्या, कोई बात नहीं मैं टेंशन नहीं लूंगा, तू जो बोला ना ये सब लिख के दे मुझे. रिटर्न रिप्रेजेंटेशन जो भी बोला वो लिख के दे. This is 580. So it's some more kind of confirmation from the management. Okay, ये भी लिखेंगे. Restriction, limitation, auditor liabilities. So if you want to put any limitations on me, put it right away in the engagement letter. Basis of computation of audit fees. आपका पगार पैसा कैसे है, inclusive क्या है, if you go for outstation audit, the facilities, the hotel accommodation and all that stuff, whether it is there not there, सब इसमें आप क्लियर कर देंगे, ठीक है. बिलिंग अरेंजमेंट कैसा होना चाहिए, periodical और lump sum amount. फॉर्म ऑफ रिपोर्ट, द वैलिडिटी ऑफ रिपोर्ट कब तक वैलिड रहेगा, 1 साल के लिए, 2 महीने के लिए, 3 महीने के लिए. लिमिट्स ऑन सबमिशन ऑफ रिपोर्ट टू द अदर अथॉरिटी. सो यू कैन राइट देयर कि देख भाई आई एम गिविंग यू ऑडिट रिपोर्ट बट डोंट यूज इट अदरवाइज फॉर माय परमिशन. मतलब अगर आपको बैंक को भी देना है ना, मेरा परमिशन लगेगा, मेरा साइन लगेगा वापस. What happens is the moment you give the audit report, it's audited, right? So company can take the benefit out of that. They can go and use anywhere. They can use it, no problem. But first ask my permission. You can write this in your engagement letter. समझ में आ रहा है, खत्म हो गया भाई, खत्म हो गया, इतना ही है. कितना देर लगा, 7 मार्क्स का ये. दिस इज 7 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन विच दिस पीपल हैव आस्क्ड इन मॉडल क्वेश्चन पेपर. नाउ व्हाट आर द कंटेंट्स ऑफ एंगेजमेंट लेटर. बहुत इजी है भाई, और रट्टा मत मारो, कोशिश करेंगे. यू आर थिंकिंग कि यू आर ओनली सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ हिम, you as a cost management accountant, you are sitting in front of him and you are only understanding here what all limitations are there or what all contents are there in this. समझ में आ रहा है. Next, audit program. This is a part of this is a part of This is a part of audit planning. This is a part of audit planning. Audit planning, the first step is only what? You have to draft the audit program, yeah. You have to tell your this also no engagement team members तुमको काम कौन सा करना है, तुमको काम कौन सा करना है. Pay attention please. यहाँ पे दिखेगा भी आपको. As per say 300 planning, the auditor should prepare written audit program. Totally चलेगा नहीं, ठीक है. For carrying out the audit plan, he will take into account the reliance of the place on internal control. So whenever I am drafting this program, I will first have the confidence in the internal control. If I feel, because see, at the moment, the first day if you go there, you will not start drafting audit program. Come on, you'll go and check it by, you'll go and have a round. You walk through करेंगे process का, you understand the system. And if you have confidence in the internal control, then on that note, you start drafting what? The audit program. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? चलो. Advantages of audit program. Important, pay attention please. It serves as a ready checklist for the audit process to be performed. So you have in your hand, right, what to do, what not to do. Audit work can be properly allocated to audit assistants or article clerks. So when we go there as an article, so audit program is going to help us. हाँ बाबा, आज क्या करना है, अपने को ये करना है, मुझे कौन सा एरिया दिया है, मुझे डेबिट साइड का दिया. So I check that. That's a very important thing. The auditor may easily know the extent of work. What is extent of work then? And how much work is done, 20%, 40%, 50%. Audit program से तुमको समझ में आएगा वो. Audit program should not be only useful for audit assistants, but for the principal too. See, there are two people, right? The engagement team member, उसमें 2 article होता है और एक engagement partner या engagement principal होता है. You understand, right? ये लोग बच्चे लोग क्या करना है भाई. Next, uniformity of the work can be attained as the same program will be followed. Everybody will have the same audit program. No, आपके पास अलग, मेरे पास अलग. We are the same team, right? So you will have what? Dash in our work. Uniformity in our work. Same to same होना चाहिए. तो ध्यान देंगे please. It is useful basis for planning the program for the following year. Useful selection of team members. अरे यार, if you are doing audit continuously, पिछले साल भी आप ही थे, next साल भी आप ही हो, तो पिछले साल का audit program शायद से आपको useful होगा. At the moment you go for audit, if you have only audited the previous year, you will go and check the file first. No, so last year मैंने क्या किया था audit program, हाँ बाबा, इसमें थोड़ा change करना पड़ेगा. So that's it helps you, right, for the following year. यूजफुल सिलेक्शन ऑफ टीम मेंबर्स, आपको पता था, अरे लास्ट ऑडिट को मैंने संतोष को लिया था, कमलेश को लिया था, संतोष और कमलेश ने बिल्कुल काम नहीं किया, बिल्कुल काम नहीं किया कुछ, तो इस तरफ उसको काम दोगे क्या? नहीं दोगे सर, विल नॉट गिव वर्क टू संतोष एंड कमलेश, you will select some other team members. So for that only this is useful. He can prove that there is no negligence on his part. Are boss, after everything happens, you are sitting in your rocking chair in your house watching TV, Netflix, and a phone call comes over shoulder. Hey, what are you sitting? Fraud has happened over there in the company you have audited. You come now in front of me. You know what you will say? Hey, Baba, I have audit program planned. मैं सब कुछ बराबर किया, देख ऐसे भी follow किया है मैंने. So can I say one thing? Audit program acts as evidence in your defense. It's evidence, right? You have done everything. If fraud has happened in the company, that does not mean the auditor has done negligence. No, you will go and prove it to them. I have done everything. According to ऐसे मैंने कुछ गलत नहीं किया भाई, ये सब बराबर है. So acts as a defense mechanism also, that you have planned in a very proper, you have touched all the areas which were there in the engagement letter, and I am not responsible for this. There might be inherent limitations, but I am responsible for what? The fraud. Disadvantage of audit program. Pay attention, I पूछ सकते एग्जाम में. The audit task become very mechanical because you follow that only na. If I am the audit article assistant, I will follow those points. I cannot use my own brains only. Why? My partner told me, Harsh, you have to follow 10 points. I am following 10 points only. अरे 11 point बोले partner ने नहीं कि यही करने का जो तुमको दिए. Becomes very dash. अरे mechanical होता है भाई. Next. So I might lose interest and dash. Initiative बोले यार ये partner ऐसा क्या कर रहा है? I have some new points here, but he is not allowing me to take initiative only. Drawing up an audit program may be unnecessary for a small concern. Why you a small concern do it? 1 करोड़ का टर्नओवर, उससे तो 10 दिन उसमें स्पेंड करना है, ऑडिट प्रोग्राम काम कैसे करना है? अरे 10 दिन पूरा ऑडिट प्रोग्राम हो जाएगा उससे अच्छा. The audit program helps in fixing responsibilities, but inefficient staff may defend themselves. अरे झुंड में जो इनएलिजिबल लोग है ना, मतलब जो टाइम पास करते हैं, अरे छोड़ नहीं यार तू काम कर, तो वो ग्रुप में पीछा के बैठेंगे, ये बाबा काम किया है मैंने, तू देख ले रिव्यू के समय. इसका मतलब क्या है? These people might defend themselves. See, the audit program helps in fixing responsibilities, but inefficient staff may defend themselves by stating a matter was not contained in the audit program. कभी को ऐसा हो सकता है कि अरे यार एक चीज तो मिला नहीं आपको, एक चीज एक एरर मिला नहीं जो आपको मिलना चाहिए था, आपने क्या बोला? You said no sir, this was not there in the audit program. I did not use my brain. You only said oh, don't use my brain. I did not use my brain then. So these people might defend like that. Like rigid programs are there. Chalo. Next is what? Essay 230. Very very important. Pay attention. Questions are being coming over this essay 230. Pay attention please. Acha, what is essay 230? So it is audit documentation, one of the most important essay. Audit documentation also called as audit working paper. Are which is your asset ray? Everything what you do, it is a dash. It is a dash. It is a record. It is a record. Record can be maintained online also and offline also, in files also. The majority nowadays it is online. Okay. The first question on your screen. First question, what is the purpose of audit working papers? क्या purpose है, क्या मकसद है सर? सर मैंने काम किया है, नहीं किया मैंने documentation. Purpose आपके सामने. Providing evidence of auditor's basis for conclusion. You will reach a conclusion in the end. 4 opinion, unqualified, qualified, adverse, disclaimer. अरे how have you reached to the conclusion? ये prove करने के लिए आपको audit documentation दिखाना पड़ेगा. That is one evidence. I'm just circling the main words over there. Providing evidence that audit was planned and performed in accordance with ऐसे. आप बाद में ये भी बोल सकते हैं कि देखो भाई audit documentation सामने, I perform everything according to essays. Assisting the engagement team to plan and perform. Even it is a help for them also. Yeah, how to do it. Assisting members of the engagement team responsible for supervision to direct and supervise the audit work. ये point article का था, ये point supervision का है, because आपका काम review करना पड़ता है. People need to review your work, right? And when review comes, there needs to be documentation in your hand, right? That's the purpose. Enabling the engagement team to be accountable. What is accountable? What is accountable, boss? Responsible. अरे भैया जब भी आप ऑडिट करते हैं, whenever you are doing audit, there is an initial over there. For example, if I vouch, अगर मैं vouching करता हूँ तो मैं नीचे यहाँ पे initial डाल दूंगा ऐसे कि हाँ this I have done this. So tell me one thing, if अगर आगे जाके इसमें कोई गड़बड़ निकलता है, the engagement partner will call me, hey Harshvardhan, your sign was here, you please come and report me what exactly is this. So this means what? Audit documentation का main purpose ये भी आता है to hold accountable every person. Retaining a record of matters. Why retaining? To keep it for your own future purpose. Enabling conduct quality control reviews. Enabling conduct of external inspections in accordance with regulatory. मतलब if anybody else No, there's something called as, I hope you know this. Do you know what is the meaning of peer review? You know what is the meaning of peer review? Anybody? Peer review का मतलब पता है क्या? Peer review means standing at par. So there are lots of audit firms across India. I talk about Pune, right? There's so many audit firms, medium size, big fours are there, small firms are there. The point is, even audit firms get audited. I use the word again. Even audit firms gets audited. So, for example, yesterday I took two firms' name: PG Bhagwat, and BK Khare, and BK Khare. Okay, these two audit firms are there. Now, the point is, PG Bhagwat is a proper audit firm, BK Khare is a proper audit firm, both have different clients. But tell me one thing, whether PG Bhagwat or BK Khare is doing work according to the auditing standard, ये कौन check करेगा भाई? तो यहाँ पे peer review का picture में आता है. So a panel is there, a panel selects कि हाँ, you will go and do audit of that firm, not company. I'm talking firm का audit, okay? तो ये समझ में आता है the quality of work performed, whether they are doing as per the standards set by the institute. This is called as peer review. This is called as peer review. And in peer review, you tell me one thing, yaar. If BK Khare is selected to audit your PG Bhagwat, then what is going to happen? Sir, PG Bhagwat needs to show what? डॉक्यूमेंटेशन. तुम क्या दिखाओगे उसको भाई? डॉक्यूमेंट दिखाना पड़ेगा ना आपको, क्या ये पूरा ऑडिट किया है मैंने. दैट इज यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है देखो, enabling the conduct of external inspection in accordance with applicable legal framework. You understand this? बहुत simple है भाई. चलो जल्दी. Next question on your screen: contents of audit working papers. So the auditor shall prepare audit working papers on what basis? Timely basis. ठीक है. ऐसा नहीं है पूरा ऑडिट खत्म होने के बाद तुम बैठोगे, बाबा आपने क्या किया था 6 महीना पहले, तो याद नहीं आ रहा है. कैसे याद आएगा 6 महीना पहले का? You have to do on a timely basis. Every day you need to document in the file. The auditor shall prepare audit working papers that is sufficient to enable an experienced auditor having no previous connection. Your audit working papers, your documentation should be a speaking documentation. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? मतलब अगर कोई नया बंदा भी आया तुम्हारी टीम में, उसको सिर्फ देख के समझ में आना चाहिए, अरे हाँ ऐसा ऐसा है क्या, ठीक है, ये इसका ऑडिट ट्रेल है. That level should be audit documentation. Are you understanding? In documenting nature and timing, the auditor shall record what? Identifying characteristics of the specific items, who performed the audit work, उसका नाम लिखिए नीचे, the initials, and who reviewed. There are two things, who perform and who reviewed. Perform is basically the audit assistant, the audit article, and review might be the manager, who might be a cost management account or chartered account. Okay. The auditor shall document discussion of significant matters with the management. Those shall be only 260 is the essay. So whatever discussion you're doing with teacher will be that you documented. If the auditor identified information that is inconsistent with the auditor's final conclusion regarding a significant matter, auditor shall document how the auditor addressed the inconsistency. If there's an inconsistency is there, if you are feeling that the management is not giving you proper answer also, so you will document that also. Okay. In exceptional circumstances, the auditor judges if necessary to depart from a relevant requirement. So if you say, yeah, ऐसे ये follow हो नहीं सकता, I cannot follow this essay, it might be a lot of reasons. So you have to document those reasons also. Model of the story. You need to document everything what is there. Okay, you cannot something which is there in my head. अरे नहीं मैं एक काम करता हूँ और ये मेरे दिमाग में रहेगा, जब पूछेगा ना तब मैं उसको बोल दूंगा. नहीं ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. Even if one line is there, no, that we should document it in your audit working paper. As simple as that. समझ में आ रहा है? चलो. Very very important. Very this is important. पूछा नहीं अभी तक, but I think they were asked to this. Okay. Permanent audit file and current audit file. Permanent audit file and current audit file. So these are types of your audit working paper. What is permanent? So your MOA, company's MOA will there be permanently in your file. See, there will be a lot of files for your audit working papers, right? आपके कबर पे बहुत files रहेंगी as an auditor. So in that there will be some documents which will be dash, which will be temporary or only for current, but there will be some documents which you will use it for years and years. First is what? Sir, all the legal documents, MOA, AOS. Next, I just read it out. Correspondence relating to acceptance of annual reappointment. So every year you're getting reappointed. An auditor has a term of 5 years. A firm has a term of 10 years. But every year you're reappointed, no? We should also check that you're not disqualified. That is why every year after reappointment होता है, तो वो जो confirmation letter होता है ना, हाँ इस अभी audit करेंगे, ये आपके current audit file में जाएगा, because current year के लिए अब reappoint किए जा रहे हैं. समझ में आ रहा है? Extracts of copies of legal documents and minutes, ये आपका permanent है. Next, extracts of important matters in the minutes of board meeting. That current year का जो board meeting है, जो सिर्फ current circumstances पे वो meeting हुआ है, वो सिर्फ आपके कौन से फाइल में जाएगा? current audit file में. A record of study and evaluation of what? Internal controls. See, internal controls are permanent nature, yeah. Yeah, how does it perform the internal controls? Next, copies of management letters which are current, ongoing. Analysis of significant ratio and trend. This is basically 520. Analysis of transaction balances. Copies of audited effects of previous years. Previous years will be there in permanent order file. And this is the third party. Let us say in one audit period, you needed to communicate with the external party. What is the SA for this? Sir, SA 505 of communication with third parties. Okay. Notes regarding significant accounting policies. Policies का भी change नहीं होने वाले वो आपके पास ही it's a permanent audit file. Audit program will change every year. Significant audit observations of the early years and conclusions reached on significant aspects of audit will be the end of current audit file. Everybody okay with this? चला 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 ये हो गया आपका 230 ये हो गया आपका अरे by the way और important बात pay attention this I think yesterday I told you this ownership and custody of किसका है sir the ownership and the custody is the property of the auditor don't even keep in your mind sir ये audit working papers है ना ये कंपनी का माल है पूरा ये कंपनी का ऑडिट है अरे नहीं ये आपका माल है this is completely your property if they do not pay you fees na you will have complete control over the audit working papers are you understanding this you are entitled to retain them one more thing this they might ask you for MCQ pay attention please pay attention the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has prescribed that the members have to retain the working papers for a period of 7 years. For a period of 7 years as a standard quality control. Otherwise, the member is guilty of professional misconduct. Very important. This is a MCQ question. तो भैया आपको क्या करना है एवरी ईयर आप जो भी ऑडिट वर्किंग पेपर्स बनाओगे एवरी ईयर 7 years तक आपको रिटेन करना है टिल 7 years you need to retain the audit working papers okay otherwise if you do not keep it you will be professionally misconduct under the code of conduct of ICAA professional ethics okay chalo next ladies and gentlemen next is what audit evidence what is the essay what is the essay 500 sir 500 essay में क्या क्या आता है sufficient appropriate audit evidence pay attention please sir so while auditing the auditor comes across various assertions what is the meaning of assertions these are powerful statements representations from the management I tell you there are two types of assertions at the financial statement level and at individual level I'll tell you give me a minute okay chalo first why is there need for audit evidence? Arey, tell me one thing. Without audit evidence, how will you back out? How will you back for your conclusion? You have already given the conclusion over there. Your documentation, your evidence gathered. This is the basis for what? The opinion. For what? The opinion. Okay. An auditor, therefore, should always try to obtain SAAE and analyze them thoroughly before arriving at any opinion. Okay? Chalo, pay attention. Types of audit evidence. First one is what? Internal evidences. So these are the evidences which you gather in your daily within the organization. So for example, sales invoice, counterfeit वो carbon copy रहता है ना वो. उसके बाद memos, debit notes, trade notes. These are all internal sources of audit evidence. Sir, what are external evidences? For example, confirmation from debtors and balances cross check करना. This is what? Sir, external evidences. External evidences. Okay. So next, pay attention. Pay attention. Now see what they have written over here. Relevance and reliability of audit evidence. Relevance is nothing but what? Whether it is useful for you in the audit. अरे what is the meaning of relevance? अरे फिर तुमच्यासाठी उपयोगी आहे का रे? Relevance. What is the meaning of reliable? अरे जो दिया है उन लोगों ने अरे वो reliable है क्या? Confidence क्या तुमको उसके ऊपर? That is the meaning of relevance and reliability. But pay attention. There are few assumptions, generalizations which have come. External evidence is generally more reliable than internal evidence. And very simple, very simple. Cash book, passbook. Tell me one thing. These people are showing you this both the balances. कि नहीं sir auditor देखो हमारी बुक में यही बैलेंस है बैंक की बुक में यही बैलेंस है मैं उसको भाई रुक तेरे से अच्छा मैं बैंक से कॉल करता ना वो बैंक मुझे ऑथेंटिसिटी देगा so what they have written external evidence is more reliable than what internal evidence and one simple one next internal evidence is more reliable when related internal control is satisfactory. And when will you rely in the internal control, sir? When I think the internal control is complete what? More reliable. अगर मुझे लग रहा है कि ये लोग सब follow कर रहे हैं, then I will say, yeah, this is more reliable than others. Evidence in the form of documents and written representation is more reliable than oral. I mean, management is giving me oral answers, but I will rely more on what? Written representations. And evidence obtained by auditor himself is more reliable than what obtained through the entity. If I tell the entity go and collect evidence, this is less reliable than me going and checking what the evidences. Are you understanding this? Simple. Chalo, chalo. This is very important. This is very important. In fact, the entire chapter is important. Huh? Methods to obtain evidence. Methods to obtain evidence. Very, very important. Okay. So it's a model question paper, by the way. So how will you do it? By one of the following methods. सबसे पहले I O inquiry and computation and analytical review. ठीक है? ICAI. यहाँ पर हम शॉर्ट फॉर्म डाल सकते हैं ICAIO. ठीक है? गॉड नोस वो कहाँ से है, बट अगर आपको वो ये करना है, एनालाइज करना है, तो आप ये कर सकते हैं. ठीक है? Methods to obtain audit evidence. Methods to obtain audit. How will you obtain audit evidence? So the first one is inspection. What is the meaning of inspection? Sir, going there first hand and inspecting everything. I've given you an example yesterday also. And stock take, inventory count, inspection. So this is the first thing. Second, observation. You are not doing anything. You are just standing over there. You are telling the manager to do it. This is called observation. Okay. Next, inquiry and confirmation. You are seeking inquiry. Balance sheet cross check कर रहे हैं. Computation, nothing but what arithmetical accuracy. You are sitting there with the calculator. बैलेंस शीट तो दिया उन लोगों ने, बट भाई हम लोगों को नहीं. जब हम लोग कैलसी पे करेंगे ना प्लस माइनस, देन ओनली आई बी सेटिस्फाइड. दिस इज आल्सो वन ऑफ द मेथड ऑफ व्हाट ऑडिट एविडेंस. And last is what? Analytical review. Significant ratios going outside the trend. Graphical ratios, charting. This is called analytical review. These are the methods to obtain audit evidence. It's a 7 marks question. 7 marks question. मेरे हिसाब से बहुत सिंपल है भाई. ICAIO. ठीक है? क्या क्या आएगा इसमें भाई साहब? इंस्पेक्शन, फिर आपका आएगा कंप्यूटेशन, एनालिटिकल रिव्यू, इंक्वायरी, और ये क्या आपका ऑब्जर्वेशन. एज सिंपल एज दैट. सिंपल. ओके. चलो चलो next audit procedure to obtain audit evidence. Okay, now how to do it? There are two essays will come over here. I hope you know what is the meaning of essay 315, 330. What essay 315? Everybody, मैं ही बोल देता हूँ. चलो. Identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement through understanding the entity and its environment. रट्टा मारा नहीं है, याद है. Because we learn, okay, even you should know this. Essay 315, identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement. Essay 315. Essay 315, identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement. I have told you this, wrong. That is called as risk of material misstatement. भाई साहब, risk of material misstatement तुमको तभी समझ में आएगा when you start understanding the environment. Environment not हवामान नहीं, things environment, company का environment. ठीक है? Wrong is of two things. Wrong exists at two things. What? Fraud and error. Fraud and error. Okay, sir, what is 330? What is 330? 330 is auditor's response to assess risk. Auditor's response, I like it over here. Auditor's response to assess risk. अगर ऐसे किया नहीं है, अभी भी टाइम है. I think जो मेरे बच्चे हैं, the one who are doing learn from me, I think they will be a very comfortable question. SS मला असं वाटतं तुम्हाला यायला पाहिजे सगळे ऐसे. ठीक आहे? तर आपण SS केले. We have done only SS. Okay. चलो. Audit procedures to obtain audit evidence. What is the first thing? Sir, 315 and 330. Audit evidence should draw reasonable conclusions on which based auditor's opinion is obtained by performance. So what is the first? RAP, risk assessment procedure. I think we have drawn chart also. तो आपने बुक में चार्ट भी ड्रॉ किया है. एंड फर्दर ऑडिट प्रोसीजर्स में टेस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल्स आते हैं एंड टेस्ट ऑफ डिटेल्स आते हैं. ठीक है? टेस्ट ऑफ कंट्रोल इज नोन एज योर कंप्लायंस प्रोसीजर. दैट इज नॉट इन डेप्थ. अपन सिर्फ कंट्रोल चेक कर रहे हैं भाई. एक स्टेप आगे क्या जाता है आपका? वन स्टेप आगे आता है टेस्ट ऑफ डिटेल, आल्सो कॉल्ड एज सब्सटेंटिव प्रोसीजर्स. ओके, चलो चलो, पे अटेंशन नाउ. चलो, कम ओवर हियर. ऑडिट नोटबुक. डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, प्लीज. Audit working paper and audit notebook is not same. I'm telling you again, audit working paper, audit notebook is not same. They will confuse you. भूल डालेंगे वहां पे. The audit staff may come across various misstatements, fraud or any other issues which need further clarification from the management or investigation and in-depth observation. In order to avoid any chance of such being issued in unanswered, the audit staff generally records the same in a separate notebook. Ladies and gentlemen, if they ask you, public ध्यान देंगे प्लीज. If they ask you what is audit notebook, आप पहले आपके दिमाग में स्ट्राइक क्या होना चाहिए? So I'll just tell you one thing. Where's my bag? Where's my bag? Let's say I'm the article assistant. I'm roaming here and there in the company. I'm doing my audit, but I find something. I find something there. Yeah, I feel yeah, no, yeah, this should be questioned to the management. So what I do is I open my diary. And I write it over you. Yeah, हाँ बाबा, I need to ask this question regarding fixed asset to the management. सो इट ऐसा हो सकता है कि भाई जब तुम पूछने को जाओगे वो बिजी रहेगा ना, ऐसा नहीं हो तुम्हारे लिए पूरा अवेलेबल है, दे माइट बी अवेलेबल बट दे माइट बी इन मीटिंग, so you cannot keep it in your head. So what do you do is very simple. You take up your diary, you write it over there, right? This is called as your audit notebook. This is called as audit notebook. एक मिनट, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन नहीं है, ये अलग है. डॉक्यूमेंटेशन से एविडेंस व्हाट यू हैव गैदर्ड ओवर देयर. दिस इज अ नोटबुक, ऑडिट नोटबुक फॉर डूइंग व्हाट, अरे फॉर रिकॉर्डिंग ऑल द क्वेश्चंस यू माइट आस्क देम आफ्टरवर्ड्स. कुछ समझ में आया क्या है? yes or no? Did you understand the difference between audit documentation and audit notebook? Give me a yes or no fast. लवकर 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 लवकर. कंटेंट्स ऑफ ऑडिट नोटबुक, अरे तुम्हाला संपवायचं रे, आज खत्म करने का है वो, आज खत्म ही करने का है. इसके बाद तुमको दिवाली का जो धमाका, जो फटाके फोड़ने फोड़ो बाहर जाके, तुमको एफएम खत्म करना है, ऑलरेडी खत्म ही करना आहे आज. त्याच्या आधी कुणी फराळ खायचंच नाही. सांगायला लागलोय हे संपवायचं तुम्हाला सगळे, ठीक आहे. यू विल फील सो मच कॉन्फिडेंस, आई एम टेलिंग यू अबाउट ग्रुप 2. कंटेंट्स ऑफ ऑडिट नोटबुक, नेम ऑफ द एंटरप्राइज तो डायरी में लिखेंगे भाई, नेम ऑफ द एंटरप्राइज. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर लिखेंगे, इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोविजन ऑफ एमओए, कम्युनिकेशन ऑफ द प्रीवियस ऑडिटर इफ एनी, मैनेजमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन एंड इंस्ट्रक्शंस 580, लिस्ट ऑफ बुक्स अकाउंट मेंटेन बाय एंटरप्राइज, अकाउंटिंग मेथड्स, केएमपी कौन कौन है, एरर्स एंड फ्रॉड डिस्कवर जो तुमको मिला है. दिस इज द मेन फैक्टर इन द ऑडिट नोटबुक. तो यही चाहिए उसमें. मैटर रिक्वायरिंग एक्सप्लेनेशन और क्लैरिफिकेशन, अगर वो जो आंसर दिया मैनेजमेंट ने, एंड स्पेशल पॉइंट दैट नीड अटेंशन. एवरीबॉडी ओके विद दिस? समझ में आ रहा है क्या रे भाई? समझ में आ रहा है कि खत्म हो गया है ये ऑडिट नोटबुक, ठीक है. चलो कैन वी गो ऑन टू नेक्स्ट. वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टंट है, ये इंपॉर्टंट है. लक्ष्य द्या सगळ्यांनी प्लीज, फुल फुल लक्ष्य द्या. और सर कितना लिखा है इन लोगों ने यहाँ पे, क्या है ये? तुम्हें कभी जिंदगी में पढ़ा है ये हेडिंग? कभी पढ़ा है हेडिंग? लोग क्या करते रहेंगे पता क्या, चला चला खाली हे वाचू. अरे हेडिंग मध्येच खेळ आहे सगळा. ऐका, ठीक आहे, पे अटेन्शन प्लीज and read it very carefully. In the previous unit also, I did all the essays. मैंने ऐसे लिखे थे ऊपर. तो understand this first, okay? Then we go ahead, okay? अरे काय झालं याला? One second. चला. Everybody, audit risk, beautiful concept, beautiful. Okay? I think we have done it in a very deep manner. I'll take it once again, okay? Assessment of audit risk, okay. Internal control, पहिला मुद्दा. इंटरनल चेक दूसरा मुद्दा. इंटरनल ऑडिट तीसरा मुद्दा. ये सब सेम नहीं है, इसलिए मैंने वहां पे नंबर लिखे, ठीक है. कुछ भी लिखे मत आओ. They are asking you internal check, you're writing internal audit and coming out. They give you 0 marks only, no? And you come out to the examination, now you tell your friends, अरे मुझे सब पेपर भर लिखा ऑडिट का, और क्या मिलेगा? 0 मिलेगा. तो उससे अच्छा समझ लो, फोकस करेंगे, सब अलग अलग कंसेप्ट है. नेक्स्ट, industry specific interplay between internal audit and statutory audit, which are different obviously. Even in yesterday's section, कौन section में पता क्या? 144 था. In 144 we did one thing, that a statutory auditor is not supposed to do internal audit, prohibited service था. Risk based internal audit, internal financial control, that is your IFC, and internal control over FR. ये ना करने के बाद तुम्हारी ये यूनिट खत्म हो जाएगी, ठीक है. शुरू करेंगे अपन सबसे फेवरेट से, ऑडिट रिस्क. कैन आई टेल यू इन वेरी सिंपल वर्ड्स बिफोर आई गो अहेड, बिफोर आई रीड ऑल द टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ, ओके? एवरीवन पेइंग अटेंशन. अच्छा सब लोग मुझे कमेंट में बताएंगे यस और नो, क्या तुमको समझ में आ रहा है क्या? टिल आई डोंट गेट एन आंसर आई विल नॉट टीच ऑन द ऑडिट रिस्क. Tell me properly, is everybody understanding and is everybody sitting with a module? Give me a yes or no fast. Give me a yes or no. See, this is not FM. FM you issue answer, okay? This is, I am telling you everything. So I need an answer, whether you are understanding everything or not. Everyone. आज ये आंसर देना है बाय द वे. समझा लागले काय चाललंय? कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? जैसे लगा के बैठे वहां पे घर पे. I know it's Diwali vacations and all that, but you need to focus a bit. You need to focus. Chalo, very good, very good. ध्यान देंगे प्लीज। सबसे पहले ऑडिट रिस्क, सबसे पहले ऑडिट रिस्क। ओके, नाउ सी व्हाट एग्जैक्टली डू यू मीन बाय दिस यार, अर्थ क्या है ऑडिट रिस्क? लक्ष्य ऐसा क्या नहीं है, टाइम पास तो होगा प्लीज। वो मॉम को बोलो फरार बाद में देने को यार, अभी सिर्फ फोकस करेंगे यार लेक्चर में, कुछ कुछ टाइम पास मत करो, आई एम टेलिंग यू। ऑडिट रिस्क, two things I'll discuss. First, an auditor, an auditor, when he's auditing, obviously, the point is when the financial statements comes in front of it, when the financial statements come in front of it, and if these financial statements are misstated, are misstated. What is misstated? Means it is not according to acceptable FRA. मतलब सब गड़बड़ है उसमें. Then you tell me what is going to happen. Sir, the auditor should give a qualified opinion or adverse opinion. I'll repeat myself again. Whenever auditor is auditing and when the financial statements are coming and if the financial statements are misstated, so what is the meaning of misstated? And misstated means they are not following the accounting standards. तो आपका काम क्या है मुझे बताओ? You should give an opinion, either qualified or adverse. But अरे भैया तुमने क्या क्या पता क्या? Instead of being misstated, you did not give qualified opinion. Arey, you gave unqualified. You gave unqualified report. The next day you arrive in a BMW to the company. तुमको 2 घंटे समझ में आते लोगों को, आएंगे ये तो साइकिल पे घूमना चाहिए, कैसा है BMW इसके पास? इसका मतलब क्या है कि तुमने पैसा खाया है, पैसा खाया तुमने, मतलब फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स कंप्लीटली मिसस्टेटेड थे, एवरीथिंग इज मिसस्टेटेड ओवर देयर. अरे you needed to give an opinion which is qualified or adverse, but still you gave what report? Unqualified. बोले तो clean report. बोले तो clean report you gave. Why this happened? Because there's something fishy going on. This is called as audit risk. This circumstance is called as audit risk. दिमाग में गया क्या ये बात है? दिमाग में जा रहा है क्या? अभी ये सिर्फ इंग्लिश में पढ़ेंगे, अभी जो लिखा है यहाँ पे. Pay attention please. यहाँ पे लिखा है. Because if I read that, जो मेरे बच्चे को समझ में आएगा, जो बाहर वाले बच्चे हैं उनको अगर तुम ये पढ़ेंगे, अगर तुम्हारी क्लास में नहीं सिखाया तो पूरा बाउंस हो जाएगा. इसकी वजह अच्छा मैंने ये पता है क्या डायग्राम है, डायग्राम से एक मिनट में समझ में आएगा ये क्या लिखा है. Audit risk refers to the risk that the auditor gives what opinion? Inappropriate opinion. See, in my example, did the auditor give inappropriate? Yes, sir, he gave inappropriate opinion. Then the FS are materially misstated. So when the FS are materially misstated and the auditor is giving inappropriate opinion, this leads to audit risk. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Everybody okay with this? Now, institute might ask you this. Institute might ask you this. What is not audit risk? Can I give you one example? मतलब पढ़ने से अच्छा पहले एग्जांपल देता हूँ, फिर पढ़ेंगे अपने इंग्लिश में जो लिखा है, ठीक है? ये आपको समझा? ये आपका फर्स्ट पार्ट है, that is audit risk. Okay? Now we are doing second. What is not audit risk? I'll write it over here. What is not audit risk? What is not audit risk? Simple example will start. Simple example. Auditor is here. Management gives the auditor a financial statements. ये आपको financial statements दिए जाते हैं, balance sheet, everything, and everything is correct. They have followed all the FRF. What is FRF? Financial Reporting Framework. म्हणजे accounting standard. तू काय short लावून नका, सोपं आहे, ठीक आहे? FRF is Financial Reporting Framework. Now, what is expected from an auditor? What is expected from an auditor? Sir, if the financial statement is completely true, they have followed everything, an auditor should give an opinion called as unqualified. An opinion should come out that is called as unqualified opinion. But तुमने ये नहीं दिया भाई, तुमने क्या दिया? You gave qualified report. अरे बाप रे, इसका ये मतलब है that the financial statements were correct, 100% they were right, and still you gave what? Qualified. You tell me one thing, is this possible? Because you being the auditor, you can write any opinion on what. अरे ये तो कभी possible नहीं है. अरे management will protest against this. Management will tell, how can you give qualified report? We have followed everything. समझ में आ रहा है क्या? So this does not come under audit risk. ये कभी आएगा नहीं audit risk में. ये risk ही नहीं है भाई. ये कभी possible ही नहीं है. This is not possible only because management will come over you. They will tell, hey, everything is all right. How are you giving me qualified? Ladies and gentlemen, यही यहाँ पे लिखा है. Now come you understand this properly. Audit risk does not include the risk that the auditor may express an opinion that the FS are materially misstated. तुम्ही सांगता ये गंदी फंसी हुई सब कुछ तर खराब है ये. When actually they are not so. This is not going to happen. Do you understand this? Everybody, yes or no? Did you understand this? डायरेक्ट इंग्लिश पढ़ेंगे समझ में नहीं आएगा, बाउंस हो जाएगा, रट्टा मारना पड़ेगा आपको. ये इजी है, ये इजी है भाई. तुम ये ड्रॉ भी कर सकते हैं. आई विल वेट फॉर 1 minute if you want to draw. Yes or no? Yes or no? Fast, 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 fast. एवरीबडी आने ये ड्रॉ करेंगे भाई, ये पूरा ड्रॉ करो. व्हाट इज ऑडिट ड्रेस, ये पूरा ड्रॉ करेंगे. अगर ड्रॉ करें तो मुझे बताओ. आई विल वेट फॉर 2 minutes देन आई विल मूव इट. ओके, सिंपल. Everybody? Yes, bro. Are you doing it or should I go ahead? Are you doing it or should I go ahead? अरे वाह वाह, बच्चे पास हो गए सीए फाउंडेशन में. पूरा इनबॉक्स भर गए. सार्थक ही पास. वेरी गुड. 2 मिनट दो मुझे, सिर्फ 2 minutes. गिव मी 2 minutes. अरे वाह 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 वाह, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड. चलो डन. चलो नेक्स्ट 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 नेक्स्ट. अच्छा, one more thing. So this does not come. Are you tell me one thing? Pay attention. Pay attention. Company went into loss. There was some product which was not accepted only by the people. There was some product which was not accepted by the people only. People said, "What product is this? Yaar, faltu." So what happened? The company went into loss, and you know what happened? The entire loss and responsibility came on the auditor. And you tell me, how is this possible? Auditor will tell you, "Are you are the business head. I am not business head. I am only here to review." तो तुम लोगों का तो लॉस है, उससे मेरा क्या लेना देना है? That does not come under audit risk. That's the second point. Audit risk also doesn't include the business risk. अरे such as what? अरे loss due to litigation. अरे कुछ केस था, उनके अगेंस्ट पे चला गया, तो देखो उसको पकड़ देगा ऑडिटर को. मतलब whatever happens, loss and all that, every time you will come and catch the auditor or what. So no, it's not possible only. So two risk is not included in audit risk. I hope you have understood this. Very, very important. So next, types of audit risk. We have done this. In risk of material misstatement, it is called as wrong. And यहाँ पे आपका detection. So three types of risk are there: inherent, control, and what is inherent risk? अरे there are some risks. Even if you do 100%, still that risk will persist. That is called inherent by default. What is control risk? The risk which you will not be able to control, and the detection risk, the risk which you will not be able to detect. Pay attention, please. Wrong is at 2 levels. Pay attention, please. Wrong is at 2 levels. I did not see a question on this in the previous examination, but we'll do it. Okay. इसके ऊपर मैंने question देखा नहीं है, but we'll do it. So it is at 2 levels. This is for only your understanding purpose. At the overall FS level and at the assertion level. I'm talking again. Risk of material misstatement is there at 2 levels. At the overall financial statement level, that means the balance sheet part. The moment you look at it, you are finding this is something wrong over here. Okay, they have not made it according to Schedule 3 format. This is completely risk of material misstatement. And what is assertion level? We're talking about 3 levels in this. 3 levels in this. And see, assertion level is going one step again, in depth. Example, classifying account wrong select किया है, there is account balance में problem, disclosure में problem है. तो 3 चीज मैंने बताया आपको. सबसे पहले classifying transactions, accounting balance and disclosure. It comes at what level? Assertion level. Okay, chalo, we have done this. Assessment of audit risk, how will you do it? Sir, the risk assessment shall be inquiry आप कर सकते हैं, analytical procedure and observation and inspection. Three chीजें I, A and O. What is this? The risk assessment procedure shall include the following. So how will you assess the risk यार? So अच्छा, will you sit there doing meditation? I know what to do. I know where the risk has happened. अरे आपको थोड़ी पता यार, आपको तो इंक्वायरी करना पड़ेगा ना जाके. So this is the first one. Second, to do something outside the box, analytical procedures. And last is what? Observation, inspection. Please go there and please check it yourself. That is the third part. Okay? Sure. Next. Everybody, जितने भी लोग हैं ना यहाँ पे, जितने भी लोग बैठे हैं, सब लोग को ध्यान देना है. ठीक है? इंटरनल कंट्रोल करने वाले अभी, बट इसके पहले एक काम करते क्या? Where it is, where it is, where it is, where it is, where it is. वाह 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 वाह. Can everybody please come over here? Anybody? If अगर आपके पास मॉड्यूल है अभी, can you please come to page 594? मतलब instead of reading the entire stuff, it's a beautiful distinguish between what these guys have done and these guys have asked this in the model question paper. Okay? Internal audit. This is section 138. Internal control is one, and internal check. I want everybody to pay attention. Everybody. First, internal audit. In an internal audit system, each component of work is checked. See, internal audit is 12 months happening in the company. So the statutory auditor, वो जो काम करता है वो same काम कौन कर रहा है? Internal audit, but they're following the policies and procedures. See, each component is checked. Pay attention, please. So what is internal control? In internal control system, work of one person is automatically checked by the another. So let us say I am doing a work, let us say entry कर रहा हूँ वहाँ पे, so there will be a supervision over me. So he will check my work. There will be a supervision over him also. So this is called as a control. It is a checking system, so that nothing is going unnoticed. And what is internal check? It operates in routine to doubly check every part a transaction at the time of occurrence and recording of the same. See, internal check का मतलब क्या होता है? There are lots of hierarchical levels. So for example, when a stock is coming in, imagine factory का gate है, truck is coming in with the inventory, right, with all the raw materials. So what all will happen? Please tell me. तो पहले ट्रक का नंबर चेक किया जाएगा, फिर इन्वेंटरी काउंट किया जाएगा, फिर वहां पे रजिस्ट्री में एंट्री होगा भाई साहब. That's the first check, right? वो पहला चेक होता है. Understand? Truck will go again, फिर उसका मेजरमेंट किया जाएगा, कितने बॉक्सेस है. So there will be a lot of checks. Pay attention. There will be a lot of checks happening. अरे till the inventory is being unloaded. अरे वो अनलोड करने में बहुत टाइम जाने वाला है, बिकॉज बीच में बहुत चेक होने वाले हैं. अरे भैया, इट इज सेम एज योर कस्टम्स का चेक. Whenever you're coming from abroad, अब जब अब्रॉड से आते हो इंडिया में, तो भाई एक चेक नहीं होता है, 2-3 चेक्स होते हैं. By the time you come on the Indian land, there will be customs check, there will be any seizure. मतलब क्या होता है कि भाई आपके पास कुछ ऐसा आइटम नहीं है जो इलीगल है, जो इंडिया में अलाउड नहीं है, तो ये चेकिंग होता है. This is called as internal checks. Did you understand the meaning of these 3 points? Internal audit is completely different. It is like an audit only, but it is happening 12 months in the company. इंटरनल कंट्रोल इज बीइंग व्हाट? अरे सुपरविजन, चेक कर रहे ऊपर कि भाई तूने एंट्री बार मारा है ना, ये उसका काम भी चेक होगा ऊपर. और इंटरनल चेक तो भाई लेवल से चेकिंग के लेवल से. समझ में आ रहा है क्या एवरीबॉडी? डू यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस? यस और नो? डू यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस? यस और नो? यस और नो? फास्ट फास्ट. ये फर्स्ट लाइन समझ में आया ना, बाकी सब इजी है भाई. Its objective is to evaluate the internal control system and detect frauds and errors. काम क्या उसका internal audit का? To detect frauds and errors. So internal control, its objective to ensure adherence. What adherence? Compliance. नीचे वाले आदमी ने एंट्री तो बराबर मारा ना, एंट्री कैसे मारेगा वो? According to policies and procedures of the company. Very simple. Internal check का objective to ensure that no one employee has exclusive control over any transaction or group of transactions and the recording in their books. So internal check में यही चेक किया जाएगा कि भाई एक ग्रुप के पास, एक बंदे के पास पूरा कंट्रोल तो नहीं है ना. There has to be segregation of duties. That's the internal check. Point of time. In an internal audit system, work is checked after it is done. So it is internal audit, normal it is. तो क्या होता है, जब आपका काम होगा तब वो चेक करेंगे financial statements. In internal control system, checking is done simultaneously with the conduct of work. So whenever, if I am the accountant, every time my supervisor will come, hey बाबा हर्ष बराबर किया तूने काम, चेक करना है मुझे every time. In internal check, methods of recording transactions are devised where work of an employee is checked continuously by coordinating it with the work of the others. At every level, your work will be checked. Trust of system. The trust of internal system. Trust का मतलब क्या है? आपका मकसद क्या है? Objective क्या है? Detect frauds and errors. Pay attention, please. Pay attention. In statutory audit, your objective is not to detect frauds and errors. मैं पहले ही बोला है, your objective is to give opinion. अरे internal audit में मेरा objective क्या है यहाँ पे? Detect errors and frauds. Internal check का trust क्या है? To prevent errors. That is what is happening. He is coming every now and then. Supervisor, hey, बाबा हर काम किया ना बराबर, error नहीं होना चाहिए. And thrust of internal control lies in fixing of responsibility and division of work. अरे division of work है, level से उसमें checking के. That is the main thrust over there. So cost in internal audit system, work is checked specially. Therefore, cost is involved. Obviously, extra cost है. Internal को पैसा देना पड़ेगा. The system proves to be costly in small business because you need to appoint supervisor. उसका भी supervisor को पैसा देना पड़ेगा सबको. It is a part of internal control and a method of division of work, therefore does not add to the cost. See, checkings is there, no. So what are they trying to tell you is that it's a part and process of the company. There is no extra cost involved over there. The internal auditor submits a report to management. Simple. Internal control provides for built-in MIS, that is management information system, and the summary of day-to-day transactions work as a report for the seniors. Okay, so I hope you understood this. There's one more thing what we have to do, and where is that? IFC करना है अपने को. There is one question which I want. Actually, there is here. Pay attention, please. Internal financial control and internal financial control, financial reporting. See, when I talk about internal financial control, it deals with financial only. But when I talk specifically for financial reporting, it is only talking about accounting. Okay. Internal financial control over FR covers those controls which are elements of financial reporting, that is balance sheet and P&L. IFC FR, what is FR? Financial reporting, accounting. Processes like order to cash, procurement, etc., human resource. Therefore, IFC FR majorly ensures controls which provide reasonable assurance that FS are free from metal mischief. If they are asking you what is the difference between IFC and IFC FR, see, internal financial controls deals with the entire financial controls, but IFC FR deals only with the accounting part, the balance sheet part. IFC, in addition to IFC SR, covers control which ensure efficient and effective functions of business control which safeguard assets and ensure compliance of policies. I want your 2 minutes attention, please. 2 minutes. In your book, if you want to write, write this one first. This is IFC FR and this is normal IFC. IFC क्या cover करता है sir? Basically, they ensure efficient and effective functions of business control. Not only financial reporting, entire business control. IFC अलग है, IFC FR अलग है, ठीक है? To put it differently, IFC is concept much wider. So obviously, tell you, can I say one thing? In IFC, FR also comes, operation control also comes, anti-fraud control also comes. So IFC is a wider term. चलो पे अटेंशन प्लीज. लास्ट पॉइंट कर रहे हैं अपन और इसमें मुझे ये वाला पॉइंट करना है, ठीक है? ऑडिट सैम्पलिंग, ऑडिट ट्रेल. पे अटेंशन प्लीज. अच्छा, बाय द वे ऑडिट सैम्पलिंग क्या है? ऐसे 530, ऐसे 530. पे अटेंशन प्लीज. अच्छा, what is the audit sampling from the entire lot? It's called population. Out of the entire population, you will select some samples. ऐसा नहीं जाके कुछ खींचना है उसमें से. There are some methods to it. Okay, sir, what is the benefits of audit sampling? First, it reduces the workload of the auditor. Very simple. It saves time and cost. So there are 100 vouchers. I will not go and select or do 100 vouchers. I will do simple out of that. Okay. It substantially reduces the time for audit work. The auditor may devote more time for more critical issues. In order to decide on external sampling, auditor effective the internal control system. In this process, any weakness of the internal system is identified and immediately be brought to the notice of the management without sampling. It gives dependable result and is based on what method? Statistical sampling. Pay attention, please. In audit sampling, you will need to completely take proper samples. Problem ऐसा होगा, pay attention please. If this is your entire population, let us say 100 vouchers are there. There are 100 vouchers. and you select 20 out of them. आपने 20 select किया as what? As sample. अरे but you have to make sure this 20 sample are representing the entire population. अरे तुमको सैंपल ऐसा सेलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा कि वो पूरे पॉपुलेशन को क्या कर रहा है, कवर कर रहा है. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए यू हैव सिलेक्टेड 20 सैंपल्स एंड फ्रॉड तो भाई वो 80 में फ्रॉड हो गया, जो 80 बाकी है ना उसमें फ्रॉड हो गया. सो पॉइंट ऐसा है कि यू शुड सिलेक्ट एवरी वैरायटी ऑफ इट, एवरीथिंग शुड कम इन योर व्हाट सैंपलिंग. पे अटेंशन. What are the approaches to sampling? Non-statistical, that is called judgmental sampling. The sample size and composition are based on your own experience, personal experience, professional judgment. आपके हिसाब से आप सैंपल निकालते हो. Okay, it has no technique, nothing. It is called random. Okay, this method very easy but subject to personal judgment. But see, this will vary from person to person. Second is statistical sampling, use of some mathematical equation, use of some series and all that. So first is what? Random sampling. Pay attention. Sir, क्या बात है? Statistical sampling में पहला बात random sampling आ रहा है. इसका मतलब क्या है? नहीं, सुनो. This method of sampling of each item of population of a given group is known as stratum. Is known as what? Stratum. So stratum होता है, strata होता है, STRTA. Has known chance of selection. Random sampling can be of two types: simple random sampling and stratified sampling. Okay, pay attention, please. Under this method of sampling, each unit of population has an equal chance of being selected. Okay, your selection is normally done either by choosing random number from the manually. अगर आपको OPM में there's this one chapter called as simulation. In simulation, we estimate, we forecast something based on random number table. So random number table, this might be computer generated, and according to that, you will start selecting the sample. What is stratified sampling? Stratified, this method is given a heterogeneous population to be first divided. So basically, जो क्या होगा? There will be lots of population. इसमें बहुत सारे populations होंगे जो अलग अलग होंगे. Different vouchers will be here. What you will do? You will make one lot. You will make one lot out of this. You will make one lot of. You will है तो पूरा heterogeneous. It's all different. You will make it down and make it equal. And out of this, you will select sample. Are you understanding this? Out of this, you will select what? Sample. समझ में आ रहा है? This is your stratified sampling. Next is interval sampling, also called as every 50th voucher, every 100th voucher you will start selecting. Monetary unit, so 1000 rupees के voucher, 2000, आप उसमें monetary unit लगाएंगे. And multi-state sampling. So this method is suitable when data are stored in more than one level. For example, an organization may have stock stored at number of shops. No shop is what 4-5 shop रहेंगे. तो हम उसमें से select कर रहे हैं कि which shop you will go. Otherwise, you will go to one shop, you will select 10 samples from there. This is only possible when there are multi stores or multi branches of the client. Sampling risk associated with compliance procedure, test of control and test of details. Non-sampling risk stages in audit sampling, very simple. Design, size determination, selection and performance. So first what you will do, you will design which method, you will identify the size, then sample selection होगा और last में क्या होगा, performance, you will do the audit procedures. Okay. अच्छा, next is audit techniques. Okay. इसमें आप please come over here. We'll do this. 520 पे आ जाओ please. 520 पे. What is the meaning of analytical procedures? Doing something outside the box. Sir, क्या करना है outside the box? So what are tools and techniques for analytical procedures? Number one, trend analysis. You will see the trend. Testing of reasonableness. This is done by comparing certain items or account balances. For example, ratios. अपन ratio का भी इस्तेमाल करते हैं, ठीक है? Raw material consumption, percent of wastage, and work in progress. Next is ratio analysis. And last is sources of information like your budgets and internet. Okay, very, very important. Pay attention, please. This is the last part, and this is very, 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 very important. इसका question है book में, ठीक है? Pay attention. Tell me one thing. What is the meaning of audit trail? Audit trail may be defined as a document record relating to transaction that enables an auditor to trace the transactions from the source document to summarize total in accounting report. Audit trail का मतलब क्या होता है? It is a walkthrough. So for example, it helps the auditor to find out the source कि कहाँ से आया है और किसने वो किए, ठीक है? So what is the requirement? After 1st April, every company will have this feature called as audit trail. So benefits of audit trail, it is the आप audit क्यों कर रहे हैं, क्यों चाहिए उसमें? Because to find out who is responsible for that. So if anybody has passed an entry, but वो आगे के बोले कि मैंने कुछ नहीं किया है, but audit trail software समझ में आएगा. It is basically a evidence, वो आपका history है, ठीक है? So it is user accountability and user responsibility. Promotes organization data security, very important. Allows reconstruction for events. So if everything collapses, answer collapse होता है, because of audit trail, you can again restructure the entire process. And detection of system interference and errors, very important. Pay attention. Oh yeah, very important है. Audit trail is nothing but what? Audit trail is nothing but what? It is basically a history. It is basically who has entered data in what. Okay. User accountability, promotes organization data security, allows reconstruction of events and detection of system interferences and errors. Okay. This is the end of your chapter syllabus. Okay. Now, what we'll do is जो last chapter है, that I will take it from here only, from the PDF. Okay, pay attention now. Pay attention. Now ये last third chapter है. Third chapter का we will do 5-6 entities which I think are very very important. We'll do it from the PDF. Everybody pay attention. Everyone. The first one is healthcare organization. The first one is healthcare organization. See, understand one thing. Auditing of different types of entities may understand one ideology. If they're asking you hotels, hospitals, cooperative society, 2-3 points are going to come common. The first thing you need to go and understand the rules and regulations. If hotels is there, you need to understand कि उनके receipts क्या है, उनके payments क्या है. First we check healthcare organization. Okay, this is December 24 model question paper. Sir, if I have to check healthcare organization, so first receipts I will check. Receipts कैसे करेंगे? In case of hospital run by state government, vouch the grant receipt. Now you tell me, for hospitals there might be people giving grants, there might be people giving donations, central government दे सकता है, private party दे सकता है, तो आप वो check करेंगे पहले. And see, these are all general points. These are all general points. Even in the examination, you are not able to recollect. You can write general points also, but keep it a bit stable with this. Okay. वाउच कलेक्शन फ्रॉम पेशेंट, अब बिल तो आएगा ना, ये रिसीट चेक करें. सर हॉस्पिटल में पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? सर गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट दे सकता है, प्राइवेट पार्टी ग्रांट दे सकते हैं, लोगों के एडमिट जो हुए उनके बिल्स रहेंगे. कलेक्शन फ्रॉम वेरियस पैथोलॉजिकल टेस्ट, अरे कभी कभार तुमको एमआरआई करना पड़ता है, डायबिटीज का टेस्ट करना पड़ता है, ब्लड टेस्ट करना पड़ता है, इनके भी फीस आएंगे वहां पे. वाउच द डोनेशंस, फर्स्ट हैविंग गेस्ट हाउसेस, कभी कभार उनके गेस्ट हाउसेस भी होते हैं. Let us say a patient is admitted for a lot of time. Okay, I'm not talking about the room which they are admitted. I'm talking about the guest which accompany them. उनके लिए भी गेस्ट हाउस होता है, तो उनके लिए भी क्या है, पैसा आएगा या चेक करेंगे. तो द ऑडिट है, जो हॉस्पिटल में पैसा इकट्ठा होगा, ग्रांट डोनेशन, they might be putting it somewhere, fixed deposit, government security. You can also vouch the interest or dividend which is coming in there. Okay, चलो. Remember one thing, they are only talking about what? Receipts. Understand the question. अगर वो लिखते हैं हेल्थ केयर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का पूरा ऑडिट, आपको सब कुछ लिखना पड़ता है. पेमेंट्स ऑल्सो, पेमेंट्स क्या करेंगे सर? दे माइट टेक मशीन्स ऑल्सो, डॉक्टर्स को पेमेंट करना पड़ेगा. ओके, दिस इज द पेमेंट, बट द क्वेश्चन विच दे आस्क्ड फॉर December 24 इज ओनली व्हाट? द रिसीट्स ऑफ हेल्थ केयर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. अंडरस्टैंड दिस सिंपल पॉइंट. नेक्स्ट, स्टेप्स टू बी टेकन of auditor by cooperative society. अभी please pay attention. These guys have not asked receipts or payment. डायरेक्टली एक ही लिख दिया उन लोगों ने, cooperative society. Pay attention. This is what, ये PDF पे जितने भी है वो तुमको छोड़ना नहीं है. टॉप प्रायोरिटी ये सब. So general points. The auditor should carefully go through that. So what did I do? Tell you first. And at the moment, if anything comes of audit of different thing, the first line you should write. You have to go and understand their memorandum, their laws. That's the first thing. You should examine the register of members. Society इसका मतलब क्या कि भाई पहले मुझे members check करने का कौन है. It is a cooperative society. So I'll check the members list. Test check the internal check and control system. I'll also check कि भाई accounting बराबर कर रहे क्या. I'll go and check normally. कि इंटरनल चेक बराबर हो रहा है क्या, इंटरनल कंट्रोल्स बराबर है क्या. नेक्स्ट, ऑडिट ऑफ इनकम. Carefully vouch the receipt of cash. Cash receipts or account of share capital should be vouched to the rest of members. मतलब आपको कोई पैसा दे रहा है. If any member is giving membership fee, how is the corporate society doing this? Next, कि सच में पैसा अंदर आया क्या, एंट्री हुआ है क्या रजिस्टर में. Order of expenditure कैसे करेंगे? You should vouch all the expenditure with reference to authorization from the managing committee. All the expenditure should be under authorization. Okay? एक भी expenditure ऐसा नहीं चाहिए जो without authorization दिया है. You should vouch the payment of loans for the loan agreement. अगर किसी को लोन दिया जा रहा है मेंबर्स को, चेक करेंगे उसका ऑथराइजेशन है क्या. You should vouch establishment expenses with reference to resolution of the managing committee with the persons concerned. Many money this is obtained from them. Establishment expense का मतलब क्या है? To establish that society. Any normal general expenses, legal expenses वो भी आप चेक करेंगे. Other points. You should appropriately classify overdue debts. So, for example, if any member has taken a loan and the money has not come from the member, you will also check outstanding debts from 6 months to 5 years. 6 months to 5 years. आप एक टेबल बनाएंगे डेटर्स एजिंग शेड्यूल का कि पैसा किससे आने का है. What are the recovery steps taken by the society? See, these are all general points. These are all general points. But please stick to these points. ऐसा नहीं कि आपको यही छापना है बुक में आपके आंसर में. थोड़ा सा तो ये पॉइंट आने चाहिए, ठीक है. एंड द मनी विच इज नॉट येट कम आप राइट ऑफ मार सकते हैं, ठीक है. According to Maharashtra Cooperative Society rule, a bad debt can be written off only when it is certified that it is by the auditor. Very, very, very important. Okay. So this is only for what Maharashtra. क्या बात करें? According to Maharashtra Act, telling कि if the auditor signifies that this debt has become irrecoverable, then only it will become what a write-off. Next, ये अपने किए हैं सब कुछ. This is all we have done now. Next, ऑडिट ऑफ एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन. अब आपको ये ऑडिट करना, आप कैसे करेंगे सर? द फर्स्ट वन सबसे सिंपल, मैंने वही बोला है, सबसे पहले क्या है? अंडरस्टैंड द बायलॉज, अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ दैट एजुकेशन. आपको पहले उनको जाके पूछना पड़ेगा भाई तेरे रूल्स बता क्या है, हाउ यू कलेक्टिंग द फीस, असेस द इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम. सेम पॉइंट होता है ऊपर आल्सो. कंसल्ट द मिनट बुक. मिनट बुक जो उनका गवर्निंग बॉडी होता है, जो उनके बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स होते हैं, जो चेक आपका मिनट चेक करना पड़ेगा. आपको मिनट्स में बहुत कुछ मिल जाएगा. Consult the budget. Check the budget allocation, different heads and confirm. So, for example, I'll give you an example of Pune University. That is what I had given you in the class also. There are many departments in Pune University. When I used to go for audit, what used to happen? We used to go in the central finance unit called as the CFU. In CFU, we used to go and check कि बाबा किनको कितना कितना बजट दिए हैं, केमिस्ट्री को बजट कितना है, बॉटनी को बजट कितना है, आर्ट्स को बजट कितना है. So this is what we need to check. Okay. वेरीफाई द रिसीट. मुझे एक बताओ, एजुकेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन को पैसा कहां से आएगा? सबसे पहले ट्यूशन फीस को क्रॉस चेक करेंगे, नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स. एडमिशन फीस चेक करेंगे आप, अदर फीस, हॉस्टल फीस, ठीक है, द अकोमोडेशन फीस, बेसिकली एनी फूड फीस. See that all the outstandings are collected on time. What is the recovery procedure? If recovery is not done, what is the steps taken by the education institution? Any grant received by the government, any donation received, any income from letting out, if there's any property. So for example, in Pune University, there was a lot of land over there, so they should give it on rent. Okay, so if any income is coming from there, how are you vouching? वो भी यानी आना चाहिए. Next, vouch the payment. The payment किसको दिया जाएगा? टीचर्स को दिया जाएगा, ठीक है. Salaries and wages. All the expenditure must be associated with special events like seminar and has been accounted for matching the expenditure. So all the expenditure should be accounted for. Vouch all the expenses, electricity, telephone bill and all that. Vouch purchase of fixed asset. Vouch refund of any deposit. So if any student is leaving from the premises, अगर उसने कोई deposit दिया रहेगा तो वो आप refund किया जा रहा है कि ये check करेंगे आप. Examine the payments on account of hostel facilities. See the investments. The next, they also go and check physical verification. Check कर सकते हैं आप. Check whether depreciation has been provided. Verify refund of TDS. Examine all outstanding liabilities. Verify inventories of furniture. क्रॉस चेक कर सकते हैं आप जाके वहां पे, ठीक है. This was one. ये hotels का है, सेम है hotels का भी. क्या है? सबसे पहले vouch the collection of orders based on check in and check out. Hotels का क्या रहने वाला है सर? सबसे check in check out. Then you can verify the room rent. Go and see the catalog. Check कर सकते हैं कि room rent कितना है. What is the peak season? What is the off season? According to tariff. तो tariff बोलते हैं, tariff के हिसाब से ये लोग rate charge कर रहे हैं क्या? On the account of special events, any wedding ceremony is there, any engagement is there, any birthday event is there. See the rates what are there. वही check कर रहे हैं क्या? वही collection हो रहा है क्या? The vouch transactions due to purchase of food materials. Verify the salary paid to permanent staff based on the payroll. All the overhead expenses आपको vouch करने पड़ेंगे. ठीक है, दिस यू कैन गो थ्रू। मेरे हिसाब से when you will do audit, pay attention please, when you do audit, company audit is a top priority, number one. Second, basic concepts of auditing, and pay attention. बेसिक कंसेप्ट भी शुरू कहाँ से होता है पता है क्या? आपका जो ये है ना ऑडिट डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, दैट यूनिट इज देयर, फ्रॉम देयर ऑन स्टार्ट रीडिंग, ओके? एंड लास्ट, ऑडिट ऑफ different types of entities, different types. This is third. Keep the PDF at top priority. Keep the PDF at top priority, okay? This should be your sequence for studying audit. 50 marks, okay? I've covered the maximum possible as far as possible, okay? Please go through it. After the Diwali, I think 6 minutes shy of OPM ka. We start with OPM after that. In 4 days, I've already to OPM. Once you come back from Diwali vacations, operations management will be there. Make sure you do that, you attend it. Once again, happy Diwali to everybody. Enjoy करेंगे आप आराम से. If you have finished the target FM and audit, I think you will be in a very comfortable position. After coming back, OPM is there, strategic management is there. और उसके बाद law है, ठीक है? Kapil sir will announce. Let's see whether he'll announce or not, because his schedule is completely jam packed, बहुत packed schedule उनका. तो एक बार क्रॉस चेक करता हूँ मैं, and if it is there, he will come out with an announcement. Okay, चलो. Thank you so much for attending, and you can share with your friends also. I'll share the PDF right away. मैं उसमें थोड़ा सा edit कर रहा हूँ. I'll just put more questions in it and I'll share you. Okay, please take a printout of this PDF. Okay, thank you so much and happy Diwali to everybody. Okay, thank you.